Hello and welcome everybody, my name is the IT Guy, and in this video we will have a look at what in Earth's name is taking up all that space on your hard drive. So let's go over to our hard drives here and let's go over to this PC. So as you can see, there are 4 disks on my computer. So I got my C drive, D drive, E drive, and F drive, and then I've got this NAS, but this is not what I'm going to look at today. I'm going to look at the local drives right now. Why? Because, you know, sometimes in Windows, these disks, they just get crammed full of stuff, and you might have put something on there that you can't really remember, or just want to know, you want to map out what your hard drive is actually being used for. So it's actually pretty easy to do this. So basically, you can do this using a simple command, but I don't recommend you do this. The command you can use is just a tree command. That would be very easy to do if you would just open up command prompt here, and you would just type a tree, and you would just get this. But yeah, not really handy. You know, it's sort of a map of your hard drive that shows you, which folders are on there, but there's no real information about the size and stuff like that. So we want to have like a complete map of our hard drive that can show us what is actually being used on the drive, and we want to be able to do it separately. So we want to be able to list the C, D, E, and F drives separately. So there's actually a third-party tool for that. That third-party tool is called, let's Google it right here. So let's go over to Google, and the third-party tool I'm talking about is Vultr. You can download that from vultr.net. Let's go over to the downloads here. Let's go over to FastHub, and let's click the Vultr installer. Let's save it, and then let's immediately install Vultr. Close that up here. Accept the terms. Just click next. This program is 100% free to use, by the way. Okay, so now we have this little program here, and this little program will show us which drives are actually being used right now. So we want to select what drive maybe, or we want to select multiple drives. Let's just see what is on my C drive, for example. You can click all local drives, but I'm not going to do that because that's going to take up a lot of time. But if you want to see what all your drives are being used for, you can click all local files, so all local drives here. So I just want to know what is taking up, why I only have 74 gigabytes of free space on my C drive. That's what I want to know. So I'm just going to select the C drive here. I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to wait for a couple of seconds here, maybe a couple of minutes. And if you're using mechanical hard drive, of course, it's going to take up a lot more time. So I'll be right back with you once the scan has been completed, and we'll see what is taking up all that space on the C drive. So we completed the scan right now, and as you can see, the results are in, and we can see that, for example, the program files folder is taking up 207 gigabytes. So right now we can see that there is this little graphical map. Let's increase that in size here, and we can see that there are some colors over here. And for example, I see that there are these .forge files over here, which are files that come out of my Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege folder, for example. And the next one are DLLs, which are, of course, DLLs are files that are very important for Windows. These are dynamic link libraries. These are files that a lot of executables will have to use in order to run, so that's very important to have those over here. But this is just a little representation of which files are taking up how much space on your hard drive. So it's a little bit of a graphical representation. I don't really think that this is what most people are looking for. So what most people will be looking for is actually the folders that are taking up so much space. So if I would minimize everything again and I would go back to the way it was before, I can go ahead and open up whichever folder that's taking up so much space. So I can click this program files folder over here. I can hit the plus sign, and that will expand, and it will show me what is taking up so much space. And of course my Steam folder, which is full of my games, is taking up a lot of space. So it's taking up about 150 gigabytes over here, and if I expand that, I can see that the common folder, which is where the games are stored, is taking up a lot of space, and things like Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, PUBG, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, stuff like that, is taking up a lot of space. So that is actually very easy to see. That is actually a very easy way to see what is taking up so much space. So of course there are other folders like the users folder that's taking up about 40 gigabytes. Let's expand that one. Let's go into my folder over here, and we can see that there's a lot of caching going on here. So there's a lot of caching here, about 16 gigabytes of cache. So yeah, if I would run something like a CCleaner, most of that cache would be cleaned up. If I would expand into app data, into local, and I will go into Microsoft, Windows, there's a lot of stuff that's being cached over here as well. So there's a lot of, see this thumbnail caches. So as you can see, it's very easy to see what files and folders are taking up a lot of space over here. Now, knowing what you can delete and what you can't delete is very important. Most likely, if it's in the app data, and it is something like, it has something like a cache, a name that says cache or temporary, it's very safe to delete that, but do take note that most likely those files will come back once you start using the computer again. So it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game where you delete the temporary files and then you create the temporary files again, and you know the drive is filled with temporary files every now and again, and you have to clean it always. So it's not really handy to use it for that, because you can actually just use something like CCleaner, and CCleaner will most likely clean up those temporary files just fine. Only thing you need to know is where are my files going to, and if you see that it's going to temporary files, as I said, you can use something like CCleaner, but most likely you want to be using this for to just see where files are going, and maybe you have some duplicate files. Maybe you can find that out with this Windows stat scan. You can see that, oh my god, I've got so many duplicate files, I can remove like half of them, and then I will have a lot more space. But of course you'll need a tool to visualize what is actually being used on your drive, and Windows stat is a perfect tool to do that. So there you go guys, this is just a simple tool, a simple way to find out what is using up all that space on your hard drive. I hope you enjoyed the video guys, and if you did, please leave a like and a comment below. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.